Today's video is going to be another installment of my makeup artist tips from a makeup artist. So in this video, I'm going to be talking to you all about eyelashes. So there are a few things to talk about when it comes to eyelashes. One is make sure that it's the very last thing that you do with the makeup. Already have the mascara on. If you want to put the mascara on, some people opt not to do mascara because it gets a little sticky. I personally like the stickiness because you want it to look like one row of lashes and you don't want it to look like double rows of lashes where it has their natural lash and their fake lash. So if you have a little bit of mascara on the lashes already, it'll just help it stick together when you kind of smush them. So you want it to be the last step that you do. I personally already would have setting powder on the face. I would have all the powder on the face, but I'd also have setting spray on the face. The reason why I would do this is because I like to use mascara, as I had just said, when I do lashes, and I always do the setting spray before I do the mascara, because the last thing I want is somebody to have wet mascara on their face, close their eyes like this, have me spray something wet, and then have all that mascara transfer underneath. That is probably the worst thing that could happen when you're a makeup artist and you're on location and you're doing somebody's makeup and you're almost finished. Then that happens and it ruins everything. So I like to do the lashes as the very last step, and that's after setting spray already, and that's also after any kind of powders, any kind of glitter, any kind of anything. You want it to be the very, very last thing. There is nothing, I shouldn't say nothing worse. There are a few things worse than when you put glitter on after, or if you put eyeshadow on after and it kind of falls down, you get some fallout and it ends up on the lashes. It just looks horrible and tacky and just not good, and it takes away the pop that the lashes would normally give the look. It kind of takes it away, and by kind of I mean it definitely takes it away. It just doesn't look good. So that is probably my first tips for this. The other thing I want to say is Duo Lash Glue is probably the best lash glue in the world. So invest in Duo Lash Glue. They have different kinds. They have a one that dries dark and one that dries clear. You might think I want to do the dark one, but you really don't, because if you have one little mistake, you're gonna see that little mistake. Whereas if it dries clear, you could always go over it later with eyeliner or whatever you need to do just to fix that little mess up that you have. But if it dries dark, it's just going to be this weird dark line. I mean, if you hit over here with the glue, if you hit over here with the glue, it's gonna dry dark. And you just don't want that, and you definitely don't want it to mess up your eyeliner. And it will mess up your eyeliner. So definitely do the clear one. If somebody has a latex allergy, you're going to want to use the latex-free one. It's a green tube. People will get a reaction if they have a latex allergy and you put the lashes on. It's going to be very itchy. It's going to irritate them. It's going to be uncomfortable. So you want to make sure you get the latex-free one. Duo does have this, and it is the latex-free Duo Lash Glue, and it's green. It's white and it has green on it. This is the clear one. It's blue. There's a mini one, but this is blue and white. As I said, the latex one is green and white, and then the one that dries dark is pink and white. So I would either get this one or the green one. Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how to apply it using the Cream Shop or the Creme Shop, and it's number 747M in black. My favorite lashes are the Ardell 120 Demis individual pack. If you get the multi-pack, it's a little bit different of a quality. It's not as good of a quality. It's a little bit of a cheaper quality. So you might be tempted to get the multi-pack because most times it comes with a little glue, it comes with a little applicator, and it also comes with multiple lashes, and it's always at a really good price, but the quality of the lashes are not nearly as good as the individual packs. So spring on the individual packs, especially if you're doing this as a career. You don't want to be messing around with lashes that aren't good quality. They're a little bit difficult to get on. It's just don't do it. Okay, so we have the pack, it's open. The first thing that I like to do is I like to take a little bit of my glue, and I always just dab it on the case. This is especially easy to do if you have the individual packs rather than the multi-pack, but you can do either way. So you're gonna wanna pull out the lash like this. Whoop. You wanna drag it out. You don't wanna grab it from the corner and pull it because it's just going to mess up the lashes. So you just kinda wanna drag it down. You could use your thumb. It's easier to use your thumb, but because I'm trying to show you guys, it's a little bit difficult. So the thinner side of the lashes, these are not like that. These go, the longest part is in the middle. But for most lashes, the longest part is on the corner, and then the other shortest part is on the other corner. So you always want to have the shortest point in the middle, and you want to have the longest part on the end. And by middle, I mean like the inner corner of your eye. So the shortest part would go in the inner corner and the longest one at the side. So what you want to do is you want to measure to see if this needs to be cut or if it fits your lash line, or your guest. So you just want to kind of place it on and see, like, do I need to cut this or is it okay? Normally I would think cut it, but for the sake of the video, I'm just going to go for it. Here's another tip. If you cut it, I always recommend cutting from the longer side, not the shorter side, because you want it to have a natural flow into long. You don't want it to immediately start long right here. It's just not going to look right. So you don't want to cut off the transition part, which is the front of it, the inner corner. You don't want to cut that. You want to cut the outer part and then just shift the lash where you need it to go. Because the point of lashes is to make it look as natural as possible. You don't want it to look weird and wonky and like just long everywhere. You want it to gradually go long. It's just a nicer look. So the whole reason why we put this on the back is, first of all, now it's giving us a little bit of time. It's getting tacky. It's not going to be as wet as it was. And then you just take the lash and you just put it right in there. It doesn't have to be saturated. Do not make it saturated, but you just want to make sure that every piece has a little bit of glue on it. Again, it doesn't have to be saturated. The more glue you get on it, the longer it's going to take to dry on the eye and everything like that. So just kind of get it good enough, and then you want to do this. A lot of people blow on it, which is fine if it's your own personal eye that you're putting it on. But just think, if you were a client and somebody was blowing on this right now, you'd be like, I don't want that on my eye. So if you're a makeup artist, don't blow on it. Just kind of shake it. I'm going to have to use the mirror over here because I'm not going to be able to do this. It's already drying. So what you're going to do is, I'm going to do it with my left hand. You're just going to place it as close to the lash line that you can. And then push it down as needed. And it's totally fine to take your fingers and do this. Totally fine. So what I always tell my clients is, have you ever had lashes on before? If they say yes or no, I'll say, okay, well then you know that it's going to feel heavy for about 15 minutes. It's going to go away. If there's any poking or pinching, let me know. That means that it's not on correctly and I need to fix it. That's the general. If somebody's never had lashes on, even just the heaviness will feel uncomfortable for them. So you want to let them know heaviness is okay, but any poking or pinching, let me know and we'll fix that. So I'm going to try to do the other one through the viewfinder. Let's see if I can do this. I'm going to try with my left hand again. Woo, I'm getting crazy with myself. I also tell the guests to look down and not to shut their eye. That is so important. When you're putting on lashes, you want them to look down and don't shut their eye. If their eye is shut, you're going to run the risk of gluing it down to the bottom lashes, and that's just a nightmare to try to get off. And you just want their eyelid not to be stretched in any way, shape, or form. You just want it to be naturally looking down, and then that's the easiest way to put it on. And then I also let them know, please don't look up. I don't want the glue to transfer up on your eyelid, which if somebody like me who has lower eyelids, it will definitely transfer. And if I was using the glue that dries black and it transfers, it's just a nightmare. So you just want to make sure you let them know, don't look up until I tell you you can, etc. At this point, you can definitely go in with liner. If you feel like the line is like a little messed up and you want to fix that, you could definitely go in with liner at this point. After I do that, I always go in with an eyelash curler. This curler is my personal one. I don't use this professionally. My professional one is just like a curler like this. And it's just way less aggressive to try to go on somebody's eye like this. You know, you just use it, and I mainly use it to pinch the two together. So let's do that now. So you want to make sure you get all the lashes in there. And then you just pinch it together. The only issue with this is sometimes if the glue isn't dry, it'll peel it off. And you don't want that. Okay, so that is that. This is what they look like. They really open up the eyes. I always advise people, even if I'm doing a wedding party and somebody's like, I don't want lashes. I'm like, why don't you just let me put them on, and if you don't like them, I'll take them off. But it really does complete the look. And because there's going to be so many pictures being taken, you don't want to look washed out. You don't want to look like your eyes aren't popping. You want to accentuate your features. So I always let people know that. There's also the option for individual lashes, which I know I've done on my channel before, a video strip versus individual. And that's really preference. A lot of the times more mature, and by mature I mean age, more mature people like a grandmother or a great-grandmother, if they're getting their makeup done and they want to feel fancy and they want to feel pretty, instead of putting a strip lash on them, I will just do individual ones, and it just helps it out tremendously, because most times you can't really see their lashes unless like they keep up with something like that, or unless they're like doing their makeup regularly and, you know, whatever the case is. But if it's somebody who's like, it's just not really their thing and they just want to like feel a little bit extra special that day, I'll opt for the individual lashes. We could definitely do a whole video on that if that's something you guys want to see. You guys can let me know down in the comments below if you want to see a dedicated video to individual lashes. Some glues aren't in a tube like this. They have a wand. So what I would recommend is when you take out the wand, I would just take the lash and slide it on the wand. Similar to how you slid it on here, just slide it on the wand. You just want to make sure that you never double dunk on that. Like, you don't want to like try to put it on and then realize you don't have enough glue and then slide it on the wand again, because that just breeds bacteria. It's just gross. So that is why I like to opt to do it this way, and I never take this and put it directly on, because I just never want to run the risk of spreading bacteria or anything like that. I'm very conscious about that stuff. Is there anything else that I need to talk to you guys about? That is this video, guys. I hope you guys like it. Thank you so much for your love, support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Until next time, work hard, dream big, eat cake. Bye, guys.